Hello and welcome to our first video of 2024. So we're on a little small industrial commercial job using the Solaredge equipment here, and we're going to be put 96 panels on top of this metal roof. So it's a 30 kilowatt system, 3 single phase Solaredge inverters, 3 home hub batteries. So let's go inside and I'll show you what we're doing. This is the space we've been gifted to fit our array. They have got a compressor installed, so Matt is just on with moving that, just so we've got a little bit more space, and we're going to board that wall out. So we've got a 3-phase coming in. We're planning on putting a new DB over here, bit of containment, 3 inverters, 3 batteries on that wall, and it should look pretty tidy actually. So we've got the compressor moved now. Matt has wired it all back up. That's given us the space we need to get some boards on, get going with that. It's going to be quite interesting, this one. Getting the DC cables out to the roof is something we're thinking about, whether we use tray or whether we use PVC conduit or trunking. Because one thing we've got to contest with, if we come out of this wall here in tray work, we've got to form it around that gutter to get us onto the roof space, and whether or not that'll look neat or whether it'll be intrusive. So that's just a consideration we're thinking about at the minute. One of the interesting things about this site is that's his domestic property over there, and they've both got separate supplies. So if we run around to the front, we can see the domestic property there, and we've already fitted 8 kilowatts of PV on his roof there. So he has got obviously 2 separate incoming supplies, and they're both 3-phase. So yeah, it's been fantastic that to enable us to have a system on the domestic and on the commercial site and reduce the bills across both really. There's the fireproof board on now. We're going to get the brackets out and start mounting the batteries. Anyone that's done a Solaredge battery before, customer or installer, you'll notice you get a shed load of cardboard and waste with each battery. It's actually pretty heavy stuff as well. Let's get these brackets and then we will mount them on that wall now. Matty rocking his Solaredge hat. So you can start to see it's taking shape now. Obviously the 3 batteries on the wall. About here we'll run some trunking across the top with some drops downs with our DCs, data, earths. The 3 10 kilowatt inverters want to go above each battery. We're going to put another DB over here somewhere. Probably split the tails, come off Henleys. I think that's the way we're going to go for now. It's coming together. A lot of prep work done. Just gonna have some lunch. So the compressor's finally gone off. Head stopped ringing now on it. So we've got the batteries on the wall. Trunking's going in. Matt is just drilling some holes there, because what we're thinking is if we can bring our circuits through the back of that boxing into some more trunking. New DB there. It's all nicely contained and housed and what have you. Inverters, you can see we're marked up for there, so they're going to sit up there nicely. So we were talking before about the design of this. Obviously we've got 3 10 kilowatt inverters, 3 batteries, and the reason for that is we've got 3-phase, but Solaredge don't make a 3-phase inverter big enough to work with batteries. So what they've got at the minute is their home hub inverters, which come in 3-phase, but they only work with the stackable 48 volt batteries, and we want to put 30 kilowatts on here, so they don't do inverters big enough. So we've split single phases across phases. One of the beauties of that is these can independently charge and discharge per the phase requirement. So yeah, this is why we've chose this design. The customer's getting a healthy 30 kilowatts of storage as well. Last one up there, finish this trunking. We'll have a little clean down and see where we're up to. Some good progress being made. So we've got the 3 inverters and batteries on the wall. We'll get a DB over here somewhere. But yeah, we're getting there. Day 2, we're on our 30 kilowatt project. It snowed overnight, so it's a cold one. Let's get into it. Woo. Hey! Right, so we're back on site now. A little bit slow getting here this morning. The snow's been one of those factors that just gets in the way, slows us down. So we're going to build off the timber there, put a new board up, split the tails into the board, and then we can start running cables in and dressing the isolators, the batteries, the inverter, everything else. So we're using one of the new fuse box 3-phase boards, and we fitted one on the other side of this property when we did the domestic side. Space for your SPD, and obviously we've got 4 outgoing ways on that. And it's actually built quite tough. The supplier originally sent us ProTech, I think it was, or something. But yeah, this board's a lot better. That's what we're going with today for this job. You spend half the time working out how to do it neat. There's no right or wrong way. Obviously there's a right and wrong way on how to cable it, how to install it, but not on how to make it look neat. So we're just coming up with ideas now on the best way to get cables in without them sort of overlapping, and no matter what, we'll get to the end of it and we'll say we could have done something different or neater. So let's go and see what Matt is doing and what he's thinking now, and we'll take a look.
So we're going to start fishing our cables through now before we put the board on, so it's all hidden. Get our cables coming back here from the mod bus underneath the board, dropping down here. Then put a hole saw here, bring our C-clamps through. We can also bring our bonding through as well. C-clamps on each of our phases. We get bonding straight onto the MET there, and yeah, then we'll get our 10 mils in, which is going to come from our breaker round to each of the inverters, and then we can mount the board itself. Get the chip board on, and then we can mount our 3-phase board and we start terminating everything.
Real, let's get on with it. Look at the size of that for a coffee. I mean, it might be a little bit anemic, but what on earth's going on here?
Getting well looked after.
I know, I'm down here grafting. You're on the sausage and bacon butters. Do they get this every day, Chris? No comment. Right, so Matt has finished his sandwich now. We're back on it. So there's the new DB going in. Obviously our CTs are here. The mod bus is going to go on. They're all around the tails. And then we've got isolator cables, data to the battery on each one of them. So that's all first fixed. So we're just working out where to put the Henley blocks.
This way, over.
And then swoop them in at the bottom.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing that people don't actually think about, do they?
Spend more time doing this, the job goes quicker, smoother.
And the thing is, we'll get to it, we'll do it, and afterwards we go, oh, there's a better way of doing that.
Yeah,
but you don't know till you've done it.
So
it's probably worth taking a few minutes.
You got to think ahead, haven't you?
Yeah. So one thing we were discussing before is how we're going to get the DC cables in. We were going to use this 50/100 and run them inside there. But where we're going to come in through the building, it might just be a little bit too much in one tray. So we're going to put some more trunking up there, bring it round, and then all the DC can be contained in one single place. Oh my God, it's so cold. You know these marksmans? Yeah. I watched the Dragon's Den that was on the other day.
Was that on there?
Yeah.
I didn't know Kung Fu Dragon's
Den.
And
I think it might have been, yeah, because Deborah Mead invested, didn't she?
Yes, yeah.
And I think it was Peter Jones was like, nobody's going to want to pay that, because £10 you get a 20p pencil. Like.
Yeah. Everyone wants them though, don't they?
You always have them now, don't you?
Yeah, mate, yeah. We've got our 3-phase board mounted. We've got all of our tails terminated. And what we're doing now is we're separating the tails at the main switch. So after the meter, you've got your main switch here, which currently feeds into the original 3-phase board. So what we're doing is we're taking these tails out and we're splitting them over here. So the main tails are going to come into our Henley blocks, they're going to separate and they're going to go one to this board and then one to this board here. To do that, we've obviously had to ask for permission from the customer to get the power off, because this site is it's a builder's yard, they're making sheds, so we don't want to turn the power off when it's not convenient for them and they're going to be losing money. So while the lads are on break, we've got half an hour now to get this job done. So I'm going to whip this off here and then I'm going to prove it's dead with my approved voltage indicators. And yeah, from there we're just going to bring these tails into the meter, and then we're going to bring these tails from the main switch into our Henley blocks. That's it.
Right then. So yesterday was a bit of a nightmare. We left the job quite early because we were worked up. Everything was done where we needed to get to. And then we ended up sitting on the hard shoulder of the motorway for 3 hours and being recovered by AA. Weekend now though, so let's see what this holds out for and tackle Monday as it comes. That'll be sat there for some time. It's got to get a new engine. Joys of business, eh?